zones for handicapped persons. Number two, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick related to chapter 3.44 cannabis taxes. Number three, resolution to amend ordinance 1206 on second reading. This is related to chapter 509 cannabis licensing and regulation. Number four, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick. This is for Robinson Boulevard and Sanford Street and for Robinson Boulevard and Sanford Street traffic signal plan. Number five, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick. This is related to loading zones for place of Bishop Place. We have an ordinance on first reading. An ordinance to adopt the development plan for the New Brunswick Orders 2 plan area in the city of New Brunswick. We have resolutions 1 to 31. Number one, approve agenda amendments. 2, approve payables. 3, authorize repurchase of community tax sale certificates. 4, approve amendment of resolution 012-343 with Hatfield Schwartz logo. 5, approve request for street closing and use of city property requested by Veterans Alliance of Huntington Valley. 6, advise and consent to Community Arts Council appointment of Leona Mitchell. 7, approve request for street closing, use of Monument Square and use of city sidewalk requested by the Brunswick City Market. 8, approve request for annual Holy Horse Club carriage price for 2023 requested by the Brunswick City Market. 9, approve of water contract with Barbara Nursery Corporation. 10, authorize tax collector to transfer over payments in several tax and utility accounts. 11, approve amendment of resolution 012378. The reason is to an additional amount of $1,800 for the personnel department and the authorized professional service agreement with Global Johnson Physician Enterprise for 2023 physician services. 12, approve water contract which has been doing business as Winner 4. 13, approve a water contract which has its Winner doing business as Winner 4, another one. 14, approve chapter 159 budget insertion for 2024 information and assistance. 15, approve chapter 159 budget insertion with the county office of aging for congregate meals. 16, approve chapter 159 budget insertion with the county office of aging for 2024 public awareness. 17, approve amendment of resolution 07-2338 with traffic pump and meter service corporation. 18, approve chapter 159 budget insertion for opioid funds. 19, approve resolution authorizing an application to the New Jersey Urban Enterprise Zone Authority for the First Generation Enterprise Zone Assistance Fund for UC 5-year master plan. 20, approve amendment of resolution 102-314 with Sterling Site Urban Renewals LLC. 21, approve a resolution authorizing acceptance and execution of grant agreement with Middlesex County Office of Aging and Services 2024. 22, approve resolution authorizing acceptance and execution of grant agreement with Middlesex County Office of Aging and Services 2024 for congregate nutrition project. 23, approve resolution authorizing acceptance and execution of grant agreement with Middlesex County Office of Aging and Disabled Services for COVID awareness project. 24, approve authorization to advertise for use of Street Park. 25, approve authorization to advertise for Football Park as C1 renovations. 26, approve authorization to advertise for Football Park having renovations. 27, approve authorization of the city noise ordinance requested by Hutch and Son LLC. 28, approve amendment of resolution 082349 supplemental services at Pierce Lane with French and Pareto Associates. 29, approve resolution authorizing an application to the Department of Energy for the Energy Efficiency and Conservation of the Plant Program. 30, approve amendment of resolution 02-352 with Sandra Nunes doing business at the New York Contracting Inc. And 31, approve title 29 agreement between 20 Driscoll Avenue, LLC, and the city of New Brunswick. Then we have items for discussion by council. First item is the proposed 2024 City Council meeting schedule and the best practices worksheet. There is to remember City Council agenda review session. The next one will be Wednesday, November 15 at 5:30 at City Council meeting immediately following the agenda review session. At this time, the
Councilmember Secor Ludwig. Council Vice President Egan.
Here.
Council President Escobar.
Here. Please be advised that the notice requirements of the Public Meeting Act has been complied with and satisfied, and that the annual notice which gives sufficient notice of the time and place and conduct of all public meetings of the municipal council of the city of New Brunswick has been filed with the city clerk, has been placed on an appropriate bulletin board in City Hall, and has been transmitted to the official newspaper for the city of New Brunswick.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please join me on a moment of reflection, and I think that is good that it amidst all the turmoil that is going in the world, that we take a moment to reflect and envision a world where peace reigns, where empathy, understanding, kindness, and harmony resonates in our world, inspiring hope and unity for all of us. Thank you.
Motion to accept the minutes?
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin. Yes. Councilmember Secor Ludwig. Yes. Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. Madam Clerk, has the correspondence been directed to the appropriate departments?
Yes, Madam President, the correspondence received by the city clerk's office is forwarded to the appropriate departments for further action.
Thank you. Before we go into the ordinances tonight, I just want to make sure that, I just want to advise the audience and the staff, I will be in early, so at some point I'm going to give the gavel to Vice President Egan to continue the meeting, so I just wanted to make you aware. So we have ordinances for discussion on second reading. We have ordinance 102-304, an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 10, Vehicles and Traffic, handicap parking, Schedule 39, parking zones for handicapped persons, and we are looking to add one at 52 Right Place. Does any of my fellow council members have any questions or comments on this particular ordinance? Having none, we are preparing to open the public hearing on this ordinance only. You have up to 5 minutes per person, one time off. If any members of the public wishes to address the council on this specific ordinance, please do so now. Seeing none?
Move the ordinance?
Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Secor Ludwig. Yes. Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. We have ordinance 102-305, it's an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 3, Revenue and Finance. This is related to Chapter 3.44, Cannabis Taxes. Before we go into the ordinance and discussion by my fellow council members, Mr. Chairman, would you like to give a summation on this particular one?
Yes, Council President, members of council. This ordinance amendment just seeks to close a potential loophole. If you have a cultivator or distributor in the municipality that also has a business relationship with a retail establishment, technically intercompany transfers are subject to the 20% tax, and the statute that enables cannabis distribution and growing so provides, but there are some growers and retail distributors who believe they're not subject to that 20% tax for intercompany transfers. So this ordinance closes the loop, so to speak, and makes it clear that it is subject to the 20%.
Thank you. Any of my fellow council members have any questions or any comments on this particular ordinance? At this time, we are preparing to open the public hearing on this ordinance only. You have up to 5 minutes per person, one time off. If any member of the public wishes to address the council on this particular ordinance, please come up.
Madam Council President, I missed, so I said 20. I wish it were 20%. It's actually 2%.
Thank you.
Move the ordinance? Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. Then we have, resolution to amend ordinance 102-306 on second reading. This is an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of Brunswick, Title 5, business licenses and regulations, chapter 5.09, cannabis licensing and regulation. Does any of my fellow council members have any questions or comments on this particular amendment, resolution to amend? Mr. Shami?
Yes, this resolution to amend merely just adds two sections regarding the escrow fees that are required in connection with applications. One on appeal, should the application be denied, and one for the transfer. They weren't in there initially. It is a substantive change, therefore I'm asking the council to approve the resolution to amend on second reading and then thereafter make a motion to carry it to the next meeting for public hearing on the second reading.
Thank you. Does any member of the public would like to address the council on this amendment, the resolution that we're proposing? I have up to 5 minutes to come to the statement.
Move the ordinance?
Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes, now, ordinance 102-306 as amended by resolution 102-306-1. It's an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 5, business licenses and regulations, chapter 5.09, cannabis licensing and regulations. This time,
We need a motion
I will need a
to set it
motion.
down to the 15th.
I move the ordinance setting down November 15th, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. Same date we advertised.
I second motion.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
yes. Then we have ordinance 102-308. It's an ordinance to amend and supplement the revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 10, vehicles and traffic, traffic control regulations, schedule 22, traffic control signals. This is to delete Paul Robeson Boulevard and Sanford Street and add Paul Robeson Boulevard and Yorkers Road, Sanford Street. Traffic signal plan September 26, 2023, and timing schedule September 26, 2023. Any of my fellow council members have any questions or comments on this particular ordinance? At this time, we are preparing to open the public hearing on this ordinance only. You have up to 5 minutes per person, one time up. Any members of the public wishes to address the council on this ordinance only, please approach. Yes?
Hi, sure, we're just standing over there.
Yes.
Okay, yes, Danielle Moore, Somerset Street. As usual, my same question is, with you putting in ordinances for street lights, traffic lights with signs, please tell me, it's not helping. Once you place these signs in there, please tell me what is New Brunswick Police Department going to do to get people to follow the rules. And I will tell you, for example, if you don't understand what I'm saying, the new light that was just put up the street there, fronting Byers Street. Wow, how all the cars, I had it on video, I put it on Facebook, keep going through red lights. It's been over 2 weeks, but you had a bad car crash over there. Mr. Ron Sanders responded back to me this morning due to where said he's going to get the police report. But come on, please, what is the purpose of you doing things and people's not following the law? And it's just, if you understand what I'm saying, I'm not going to say it's a waste of time, but please, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Do you? So, once you sign something, when is New Brunswick Police Department going to get off their behind and start writing tickets for people who's not responding to any of these signs that you keep putting up? Can I get an answer, please?
Well, Ms. Danielle, the reason why we're doing this, hopefully that's to enforce it, so why?
Yes, that's what you keep telling me, but what do I see New Brunswick doing anything? What, just like with the situation where we were talking about with Jersey Avenue, no parking and standing? What, do I have the videos of the cars still parking, blocking the sidewalks? What, New Brunswick Police Department riding right by? Did I just do a video, what, today of it? Put up on Facebook? So please, you keep saying the same thing. But like I said, when is New Brunswick Police Department gonna take responsibility? Too much is happening, I tell you, like I said, to be a resident of 46 years. Come on. It's time for you council members to start stepping up, getting on the police department. I will say thank you, Jesus, to the parking authority, where Mr. Mitch has brought out more cars due to where the police department isn't doing their jobs. But come on. Please, I hope to see better.
Thank you, Ms. Danielle. Anybody else from the public? Seeing none?
Move the ordinance.
Second. Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin. Yes. Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. Now we have ordinance number 2309, this is ordinance to organize and related revised general ordinances of the city of New Brunswick, Title 10, vehicles and traffic control regulations, loading zones, this is in reference to district rates. Any of my fellow council members have any questions or comments on this particular one? Now we have to go to open the floor for the hearing of this ordinance only. You have up to 5 minutes per person, one time off. Does any member of the public wishes to address the council on this ordinance only?
Hi, yes, once again, may I ask you a question on this? We want to see loading zones. Is there going to be a time limit
Mr. Valenti?
on this?
Yes, specific to Schedule 8B, it establishes the time limits Monday through Saturday. I don't recall, I think it's 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m., I believe, but it's in the statute.
Thank you. So there is Ms. Danielle.
Okay.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public? Seeing none?
Move the ordinance.
Second. Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. Then we have ordinance on the first reading. We have ordinance 112301. It's an ordinance to adopt the development plan for the Brunswick Lower George 2 plan area in the city of New Brunswick.
Move the ordinance. Set it down Wednesday, November 15th, 5:30 p.m. Same date we have.
Second. Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Socorro Ludwig.
Yes.
Council Vice President Egan.
Yes.
Council President Escobar.
Yes. At this time, we turn the ballot to Vice President Kevin Lynn.
You want it there?
Come here, sit
Okay,
here.
I'll take over.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, now we're going to move to the resolutions. We have resolutions 301, resolution 331. Anybody from the public want to speak on any of the resolutions? You have 5 minutes to come up to the microphone, no microphone, or whatever, I'm sorry. And, part of construction, obviously. Please, go ahead.
Hi, yes, I'm gonna talk about number 18. To where, I'm gonna say I've been going to a lot of places explaining about opioids. And I've been taking my time telling people my personal life as well, and helping a lot of drug users as well with this. It's good to see funds are being spent, and due to where I've been with the county as well speaking on it. I've been going to a lot of places, like I said, to speak on it and help people with opioids. Due to where I say it can be helped, due to where, not that I'm not embarrassed to tell my business or whatever, what, it's been 21 years since my accident with that wire coming across my head. Well, it's been over 17 years that I've been taking oxycodone. Just like I teach the rest of them, you're drinking drugs. One thing about it, I'm not addicted, and I teach them how, due to where, like I said, everybody does not get addicted, due to where, and to prove, like I said, on my record, yes, I've been taking it for 17 years, but wow, if I can go from 90 tablets and just drop down to 50, I'm not addicted. And like I said, I've been teaching, trying to study others, where this weekend, what the police was wondering what I was doing, where I was sitting with a woman, I stayed with her 5 hours to try to understand things, due to where I teach a lot of them, due to where, and one thing I say, regardless of these funds, with putting out so much money, I say you're putting in people's head about addiction, due to where, and I say a lot of people are getting addicted due to that's what you're putting in their head, and giving out money, where people getting addicted just to get lawsuits. Like I said, 17 years, and what do I tell people? Streets, due to where I tell you how they'll listen to me before my own family, before my own family will listen to me. But I've been helping so many throughout New Brunswick. Like I said, due to what? If I stay home all day thinking about pain, what is my mind going to stay focused on? Pain medication, pain medication. Due to it, just like I tell the other ones, you sit in the same location, you get high or drink. What is your mind going to stay focused on? I have to say, due to where, and I just noticed a new place up there on Joyce Comer, I forget the name of it, I just listed it, due to where I say, instead of another way to help out, some type of therapy, and I'm not saying to a doctor or anything, like I said, I call my therapy what? You see me walking, you see me listening to music, what, I paint pictures, I go down to the river, I do different things. I can be in pain, but to do different things to keep things off of your mind. And I really think due to where the amount of money the county is giving and New Brunswick is giving, due to where, come on, I'm very scared due to where I don't see the police trying to get any of these drugs off the street. But yeah, to try to open some type of place similar to New York, if you ask me, due to where, what that's safe, due to where, how someone can come in and have a nurse or something and be on the safe side, less overdoses. And like I said, due to where I take the time to really learn new things, the different type of people. But like I said, the main thing I say, due to where, when I say therapy, just find something off of your mind, and it works. And I proved to the brother where I let her, after the 5 hours, I let her go do her thing, gave her privacy. Said, let me get away from here. She's gonna start off acting crazy. I sat with her, like I said, for the longest. I played music. Wow, how you can't tell me certain things don't help people, due to where, wow, the brother looked at me and smiled. Normally when she takes her drugs, how she'd be rolling all over the ground, screaming. How what? Instead, she was just sitting there, singing the words properly. So I have to say, start thinking about some type of things to do around New Brunswick, due to where this is one of the biggest drug places users in Middlesex County. But I appreciate to see funds operating, but like I said, I just don't like how it's the way it's going, because like I said, taking opioids is all about honesty. Like I said, I would say thank you, Jesus, again. What, it's been over 17 years, like I said, as strong as I am, good health I am, due to where I don't let it get to my head. I know what addiction is, due to where my body, I'm pretty sure some of you can tell, my body's addicted to caffeine. And when you see me drinking tea all the time, what? If I don't have any tea or caffeine, what, I get these weird headaches the same way as someone, like just with anybody who don't take their meds or whatever. But I say, come on. Time to open up a unit for therapy to help people.
Thank you.
Good evening, Council. Charlie Prattville, New Brunswick today. I'll pick up where Danielle left off, the opioid funds. What are they going to go to? What is the plan for them?
Mr. Mulroy?
This is just to actually put this into the budget so that the funds can be spent. So as my knowledge, there's no official plan yet for use for the funds.
Okay, well, how can the public get involved to help make a plan?
Mr. Shammy?
think that's up to the administration. Money goes into a fund. This is a particular litigation that many municipalities throughout New Jersey as well as the country participate in. There are some guidelines that are part and parcel of the litigation. So those particular funds are used in those particular purposes. I don't know exactly
Okay.
what the city has spelled out at this point in time.
Okay.
Could I ask that an update be provided at the next meeting or future
Sure,
meeting?
sure you can.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
The very next one, the 5-year UEZ plan, 120 grand, what does that money go to?
Which number one?
Number 19.
Mr. Dominguez, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So as part of being part of the urban enterprise zone and the projects that we're allowed to do with the zone allocation fund from the DCA, we are required to have a 5-year plan as to how we intend to spend the money. Not the specifics, but sort of overarching things, infrastructure, services, yada, yada. The UEZ began again in terms of providing these funds circa 2 years ago or so, after the Christie administration removed them about 10 years before that. And because that was during the COVID period, there was or is a waiver of having that 5-year plan in place. And so we've been able to start rolling without one, as all the other towns have. And now that they've issued guidance for how the 5-year plans are supposed to be, and the statute, they are saying that we are allowed to use up to $120,000 of our funds for that plan. We have to get a resolution adopted by council, then we have to submit the draft RFP to the UEZ board. They review the content of the draft RFP, and if they are to functionally bless it at their next meeting, then we would be able to go out to RFP. We don't anticipate that we're going to spend anywhere near the $120,000, but that's what we're allocated, and we'd rather ask for more and use less rather than ask for less and have to redo this cycle down the road if it came to that.
What he said.
Thank you. The very next one, number 20, amending the number of home units for Sterling Side urban renewal, their project. It's been before you many times now. What's the change? Are they providing less units for the same amount?
Mr. Dominguez again, please.
Yes, so in this case, we had a miscommunication between myself and the developer. In the project description that they used for several different grants or things that they were putting out there, there was a word that they used, 6 homeless units. And I was under the impression when I was reading it that that was our units. That is not the home supported units. Those are just 6 units that they have that they're proud of, and they've included that in all of their boilerplate language to show off their building that they're putting together. We had apparently agreed to, in either last year or the year before, for 4 units for this amount of money. And so we need to amend the resolution in order to allow that to be the case for them to be able to get their funding. The impact as far as the building goes is 0. There's 53 units in the building, 100% of them are affordable. It doesn't really matter how many of them are home or not home. Every single building, every single unit in that building is going to be affordable, whether we subsidize 1 or 0 or 100 of them.
Very good.
Correcting an error in the prior
Correct.
resolution. And I believe the 6 units are units the county is chipping into the fund.
That's correct.
Right. So, yeah, I guess I'm just a little, there's a housing crisis going on in New Brunswick and beyond. And, as I noted, the city hasn't created any affordable housing in the past year. And this is a project that's, as we recall, the developer came here in 2019 and said, we need you to get this done today so we can go to Trent and get the approvals and get you the affordable housing. And the project's changed in many ways over the years, but there's still no signs of it moving forward. Is there, any realistic timeline that we could expect actual units to come online?
Mr. Dominguez?
If I may, Mr. Valenti actually just tapped my shoulder. He said that they put up the construction fence up. They're looking to close with all their lenders in the next couple of weeks. I really anticipate in the next 3 to 4 months that there are probably going to be shovels in the ground over there.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Crowder. Yes, sir. Talk about this.
That came out in
always plan on not commenting, but some always got me comment. I want to talk specifically about 18.
Number 18?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
I think you guys need to be particular on where that money is going to be allotted to. Just for the simple fact that I have a transitional home in Trenton. My nonprofit has a transitional home in Trenton. I worked for a transitional home for 2 years. And what I've learned is, and I want a transitional home in Brunswick, for some reason I get resistance. I don't know why. But I've lived working in a transitional home for 2 years. I've learned that majority of the people that come in there, it was men. The majority of the men that came in it were Caucasian white men. We facilitated 23 people. Out of the 23, 21 of them will be Caucasian white men. 2 of them will be black. So with that being said is, black people are still being criminalized during this opioid crisis. Even though it's supposed to be treatment, it's supposed to be more forgiving if you're a substance abuse user. But for some reason, the only people who are allowed to be treated as a sickness is for we Caucasians, is what I'm saying. People on Richardson Avenue right now, they're treating those people as if they're criminals if they get arrested with 1 packet of heroin, 2 packets of heroin. All you gotta do is go to the courthouse and see who has charges for these heroin. But if you go into transitional homes and you go into treatment centers, they're predominantly white. So this is a problem that, for some reason, black people are getting the brunt of. So it may take another 10 years for people to finally say, guess what? Black people are still being criminalized for the same drugs that white people are getting treatment for. So there's a huge double standard, and I hope that New Brunswick is not going to be a part of this double standard. Because I'm in the transitional field, I'm in the treatment field, and if you guys need assistance, I'm more than happy to help. But I pray that New Brunswick is not going to be a part of the double standard that is active now today.
Thank you. Speaking the truth.
Anybody else on the resolutions from the public? Seeing none.
Move the resolutions.
Second.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yes.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Yes.
Councilmember Fleming.
Yes.
Councilmember Gaskin.
Yes.
Councilmember Secor Ludwig. Yes. Council Vice President Egan.
Yes. We're now going to move to the proposed 2024 City Council meeting schedule. Anybody have any discussion on the schedule? Mr. City Attorney, do we need to adopt the schedule publicly?
Later on, we will. It's not prepared for adoption at this meeting. I proposed the first meeting in December, but I wanted to make sure that the council had perused the proposed schedule. There are some holidays that we have to work around, but I think for the most part, it's pretty consistent with standard. So if no objection is heard, no one has any issues, I will pause the resolution adopting 2024 meeting schedule to be presented at our first meeting in December.
So moved.
Thank you.
Anybody have any objection? Okay, great. Okay, now we'll move to number 2 on item H, best practices worksheet, CY 2023.
With respect to that matter, Mr. Vice President, the council has to acknowledge that they've been presented with the worksheet and that they reviewed it for purposes of this public meeting and the statutory requirements.
Okay. Everybody understand?
If anybody has any questions?
Questions?
See any
Best practices worksheet? Okay, move on. Thank you. Now we'll move into the public portion of the meeting. If anybody would like to address the council, please step up to the front here. 5 minutes. Help yourself. Anyone? Anything? Come on.
Hello, my name is John House.
A little louder, buddy.
My name is John House, a resident here in New Brunswick. I was just here I want to bring attention to the council that 2 roads in New Brunswick, Seminary Place and Bishop Place, were repaved recently. Seminary over the summer, Bishop just maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, or maybe a little bit more than that. But when they repaved the roads, the crosswalks that were there, the marked crosswalks were not repainted. And I noticed a lot of the Rutgers students have been crossing kind of just all over the place. So I was wondering if that could be brought to the attention of the city.
Yes, we'll let Mr. Valenti, go ahead, please.
Yes, we're aware of it. In fact, the PO has been issued to our striking contractor. I expect them in town within about a week or so.
Rollers are in hand, paint's getting ready to go.
It's actually hot machines, thermoplastic.
Machine, okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, yes, Danielle Morgan. First, I will start on George Street, due to where, like I said, one thing I would like to say to our new two council members, due to where the city and all as well know that I do have psychic vision where I can see in advance of things, due to where, I was disappointed with George Street. Wow, it's been five months now, due to where with George Street being closed, and it wasn't meant, and like I told you, hard heads make soft behinds. Due to where, and I can't wait till it opens up. And the next thing I'm going to speak on, due to where, just like I said 2 weeks ago, we're going to have an early cold blue. But thank you, we have a cold blue tonight. Then a couple of things, my main concern, like I said, that's with these traffic lights. For example, at Frank Spire and Prospect, the new traffic light just went up there. Come on, New Brunswick Police Department needs to start doing their job and giving out tickets for a crash right there, not even a week and a half. Come on. Now I'm worried due to where it's turned on at Jersey Avenue today. It's a turn on full-time, no more flashing. That's Monday, the 6th. Like I said, God bless Mr. Ron Sanders, due to where he communicates me with cell phone. If I have anything that's worrying me or what, he'll get back to me. But like I said, New Brunswick Police Department needs to start doing what they're doing. And I'm going to speak on the two council members tonight. That's Council Member Gaskins and Vice President Egan, for two things due to where what I'm going to be speaking on tonight. After looking after all these charges, 62 records of burglary, 48 records of simple assault, 25 records of aggravated assault, 2 records of murder, which has to be upgraded, 1 record of shooting, which needs to be upgraded, and a record of arson, all in a month of October. We don't have over 6 dead bodies this October alone only. And I'm going to take it further with the state that I say it's time, since you council members aren't speaking up for the safety of New Brunswick. Wow, just like Patterson got getting washed over last week, I think New Brunswick should be the next one, due to where it's getting outrageous. And then due to where one thing, the reason why I mentioned the two of your names, due to where where you were talking about second chances. And due to a time that you were saying that I was racist, was speaking on someone that is not a U.S. citizen, that is illegal. Now, due to where 6 months ago, I said due to where, wow, I've been asking, please tell me if someone is not a U.S. citizen, illegal, which is on record, can they be arrested? I never got an answer. But now, due to I see why New Brunswick Police Department isn't doing anything. Wow, due to with the case I have, I'm going through with the man coming at me with a pole, where wow, how did the police, the prosecutor, Middlesex County, the judge, even let this man assault over 6 people and be let back out? Why? Because he was not a U.S. citizen? So now, due to where now they know I'm on the case, and I'm going to take all of it to the news as well. Why? We're waiting on immigration. Now, you do that to each and every one of them, well, the whole jailhouse will be filled up with New Brunswick residents. But that does not give them a right, to keep assaulting somebody 5 or 6 times just because they're not a U.S. citizen. And I tell you, half of what I said on here, majority of that is where? French Street, Somerset Street, all over there. Come on. Like I said, no matter what race, creative color, we need each other. Like I said, I was the first one to start feeding them ones over there on Townsend Street. I'm pretty sure you see the shirt that I have on, due to what I help anyone. But I know I'm going to need a helping hand one day. What, did I help the family with the fire? What, how they lost everything? What, and where you swear, like I said, calling me a racist because I said someone's illegal? What, I still stood on the corner 3 hours. $850. What, I donated almost 200 to supply school stuff with them. Like I said, my point is treat equal. If I call the police on my neighbors for loud noise, well, you can ask Lieutenant Lemling. Did I do do the same thing for my son coming home 3:30 in the morning and I wouldn't let him in? Did I call him in? He'll tell you. What? Treat equal. I called loud noise ordinance on him. I told him not to do it. So that's what I mean when I say equal. Don't tell me something that I can't do just because I'm black. And what? You let them do it? Why? Because you don't want to deal with the paperwork like the public has been telling me? And now that I have a court case with everything recorded, and please let Mr. Judge Philip Burrow know that yes, I don't trust him. He's another racist SOB where what? To give somebody hit and run, Latino, $200 fine. Hit and run, $200 fine, Latino. Oh, black man, loud music, $800 fine? Oh, all on the record and going to the news. Please tell them.
Yes, Ms. Gaskins.
Thank you. So I want an opportunity to clear the air and just state for the record what actually my recollection of what happened is. At that moment, I believe it was September when Ms. Moore's remarks were made. My exact statement is that the act of referring to people of Latino or Hispanic descent as illegals, that is racist. I gave you time to chat, so please let me.
Excuse me, I didn't say a word, so I don't even know why you would look at me and say that. I didn't say anything.
So I'll state for the record again, referring to Latino or Hispanic people as illegals, I think is a racist term. I also think in general, the term is very dehumanizing, right? The people are here, they are part of the fabric of our society, undocumented or not. There is a belief that Latinos congregating are contributing to crimes. And I also reject that notion, right? Just because we see a bunch of Latino people doesn't necessarily mean that they are committing crimes. The notion that the city is ignoring acts of crime committed by anyone, I think is a false one. And even more, I reject the notion that we are letting, quote unquote, people who are undocumented commit crimes at a greater instance. If you look at data across the nation in the state of New Jersey, U.S. citizens and documented individuals commit crimes at a relatively same pace. There's no such truth to assert that undocumented people commit crimes at a greater rate than U.S. citizens. Furthermore, people who are undocumented not only face justice in our trial courts, but they do face risk of deportation, as you rightly know. And so I think everything that I heard just now, again, reinforces this notion of racism. I want to say for the record, the reason that the city appears and tries to be a welcoming city is because if undocumented residents don't feel comfortable reporting crimes, then we have an issue where they're not going to the police department to tell anything that's happening in the community. And that's something we don't want. Lastly, I am saying this specifically because I am black. And I do not like when I hear some attitudes or some notions of communication that tries to pit and say blacks versus Latinos. I hear it sometimes, and I just reject that notion. So as a black woman, I am standing firm. In the same way that I would want people to stand with me in the black community when I hear some racism, I'm doing the same here. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else like to address the council tonight? Step up, please.
Good evening, council members. Carlos Ramirez, reporter with Brunswick today. I wanted to mention I'm glad to see the new traffic lights up on French Street. We've had many people get hit, even jaywalkers. I hope this will improve both the drivers who are hitting each other constantly there, especially on Suriam and French. Hopefully that also helps our kids and other pedestrian cyclists walking on the area of what is the Prospect and then at the new school, especially with the people under the influence. Hopefully they'll use the crosswalks. I also wanted to ask if you could direct my questions to the police. How many bilingual officers are there in the police department, and what languages do they speak?
You want to know how many bilingual officers? Haven't looked at that information tonight. Who's the,
I do not have that information in front of me.
we'd like you to get that for us.
Absolutely.
Thank you. We can get that for you, sir.
is there any basic information on how many officers speak what certain type of languages currently in the department, aside from Spanish?
It's the same question, I don't have it in front of me.
All right. Now, would the city consider putting cameras on hot areas, considered places that are always getting requests for police, such as shootings, stabbings, public disturbances?
I know that they have cameras all over the place throughout the city, but I don't know about their tactics or how they come about to do that. I believe that's all done internally. But I would ask the officer, what do you, go ahead.
What's your question?
I was mentioning what the city.
So he wants to know, if they gave you an area where they think it's a crime-ridden area, so that, would the city consider putting cameras in that area?
Certainly.
So these will be city-owned cameras with the police access to it 24/7, just because currently there are private cameras placed by businesses and, you know, homeowners or renters there, but they're not the best resolution. And some are not working, or they just are fake. So that's what I'm saying, you know, maybe.
Well, if the city police was involved, they'd be real cameras. I mean, that would be surveillance by the police, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to, you know, like some other cities have monitored ones that dispatcher can see, you know, tune into a PA system, speak to them, or activate some type of siren. You know, that type of thing I was referring to. We noticed that Rutgers has some, but not with PA or any alarm system, but you know, areas such like Front Streets, near the schools or the parks, you know, some of those areas are pretty dark, are always getting requests for police services. French Street, you know, all those areas, Remsen, Candy Street, those are just some to mention that I feel like would make people safer. I know certain areas, certain cities have been pushed back on going forward with some of those things, but I feel like if that is part to improve safety in the area, especially, you know, Councilwoman was mentioning being at peace with each other, maybe that's one solution to the ongoing issues of public safety concerns. So I hope the board would consider putting security cameras in places that are needed. And the other thing was paving on the roads, where some of those back streets and alleys are, some of the areas are paved really late. Even after snow comes through, they're plowed really late. Sometimes it's taking up to 3 days to get plowed. I'm speaking in particular in this case, next to my home at 322 Sudan Street on the railroad side. There's been a pothole that's been there since last winter, has not been fixed, and every day keeps getting deeper and deeper.
What's the address?
322 Sudan Street on the
Can
railroad.
you please write that, 322 Sudan?
Absolutely.
We'll get that. Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully we can get it paid soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hold on, I want to say, Ms. Gaskins, my name is Tom Alpin. Petra Gaskins. How you doing? All right. I was just listening to your comments that you said to Ms. Moore about.
Excuse me, guys, I know you guys talk outside or after the meeting, please? Thank you, 'cause I can't hear. Thank you. There's a big echo because of the construction.
About her, I guess term, I wasn't here, I didn't hear it, but I'm trying to gauge the conversation and what both of you guys were trying to hint at. And if a person comes somewhere that there's a law and they're not supposed to be there, what do you call that? If a person breaks the law, what is that? What's that considered? Just a general question. Is that legal or illegal if you break the law?
There is a reason that
Could you answer the question, please?
I don't use dehumanizing language when I refer to human beings.
Okay, can you ask, what, if a person breaks a law, is that legal or illegal?
I don't use dehumanizing language when I refer to human beings.
So you don't know if a person breaking, if you're a council person, you don't know if a person breaking the law is legal or illegal, considered legal or illegal?
I said what I
I
said.
didn't say anything about humanity. I just asked a general question.
I said what I said.
Okay,
The same way people
Okay.
use dehumanizing language referring to.
okay, since you want to, all right, okay.
Please.
Okay.
We should direct.
Listen, first
Okay.
you gotta.
Don't kill his time.
All right, excuse me.
Hold on.
Don't yell loud.
Hold on,
Hold
relax.
on. Mr. Pittman.
I was just asking a simple.
Let's just go through the chair.
Okay, but listen,
Go ahead, go
I
ahead.
was just asking a simple question from an elected official.
Okay,
And all for the words that she said,
okay.
all right? And for you to consider, for someone to consider, that first of all, Latino and Hispanic has nothing to do with race. You're either Taino Indian, you're African, or you're Hispanic. Latino and Hispanic has nothing to do with race. And for you to make an assumption that her statements are racist when a lot of documented Latinos don't approve of undocumented Latinos. That's how we got our previous president, Donald Trump, in office, because a lot of documented Latinos didn't agree with undocumented Latinos. So for you to assume that what she said was racist, you're gravely mistaken. And I think that you should learn. I think that you should learn some history and not just pander with the general conversation that's out now, but you should really do some research because you are totally wrong, you're totally off, and I think that it's disrespectful for you to call her a racist off of that marriage right there alone. For you to consider her racist and you didn't even do no research, if you speak to a Hispanic, if you speak to a Latino, that's not a race. Hispanic is not a race. So you're just spewing things as a black woman. And I want to see you be as supportive, because I see that you're supportive of the Latino race. I want to see you be as supportive when we do this push for black people to get reparations for transatlantic slave trade in America, Americans that were enslaved in the United States of America. Because federally, they're pushing for H.R. 40. But New Brunswick participated in slavery just as well as it was globally. And New Jersey was one of the last states to free the slaves. So we can do a local push for reparations for African Americans in the state. And I hope you're as supportive for that as you are for this.
I would be.
I'm going to say.
Thank you very much,
Thank you, Mr.
Cornell
Pittman.
Pittman.
Please don't yell out, Ms. Moore. Trying to have nice order here. Please follow. Yes, Mr. Crowder.
Yes, good evening, Charles Pratt, New Brunswick today. I want to start by acknowledging the recent violence in the Second Ward. May rest in peace, Gabriela de la Cruz Romero, Jesus Antonio Salazar, and Missy Rodriguez Sanchez, who were all victims of tragic murders in the past 2 weeks. And I wanted to ask if the council has any comment on these terrible crimes.
I have the same feelings that you have, Mr. Crowder, with the terrible crimes. Does anybody else have any comments on it? Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Staying with public safety, at the last meeting I asked about transparency regarding shootings in our city and a disconnect between what's been promised and what's been delivered. I was told to email Lieutenant Hoover about it, and I did, and I wanted to confirm, did you get my email, and when can I expect some kind of response?
Lieutenant?
I got your email, yes, I'm a busy guy. Our policy is to release public information when a person is struck by gunfire. That's the way it's going to be. I understand what you cited on the city website. I don't control the city website. That's the answer.
Okay, so the city is only going to do those notifications if a human being's been hit by gunfire. If buildings or vehicles are damaged or shots are heard, there won't be a notification is what I'm gathering from that. Is that correct?
Confirmed shootings of human beings are going to be released.
I wanted to ask about the Lower George Street 2 redevelopment plan. It's back on the agenda. Can you tell me, is this the same exact ordinance that failed at the prior meeting?
I believe so. Mr. Dominguez?
Yes, yes it is.
Okay, sir. And if I may, through you, Mr. Chair, for Mr. Castaneda, I know you cast a no vote on the second reading last time. I believe you cast a yes vote tonight. Can you tell me, what, if anything, changed, and what, will you be supporting this on second reading?
I will be supporting this on second reading. The reason that I voted no was because I didn't personally have sufficient information that I have now been privy to and feel more comfortable with the plan as is.
Thanks for that. Can you share any of that information? Is there anything in particular that changed your view?
I'm not going to get into that right now.
Okay. I know Mr. Fleming abstained on the vote on second reading, and tonight cast a yes vote. Through you, Mr. Chair, can he explain his change in vote?
If you would like to, yes, Mr. Fleming. No.
No reason?
No.
No. Okay, I'll move on. The nurses came out a couple times and asked you to look into a bill, safe staffing bill. Is the council still doing research into it? Will you be weighing in? Is that something you personally
I
support?
believe we're doing, well, I support the nurses, but I don't think we're still looking into that, Mr. Pratt.
Okay, and I know you're a labor leader, you know, personally, do you support that legislation?
I don't really, I don't know yet. I'm gonna say right now, I don't.
Right now, you don't support it?
I haven't read it all, so.
Okay, well, I don't mean to speak on behalf of the nurses, but maybe, you know, maybe it would make sense to have a meeting. Would you be willing to meet with them?
I've met with the nurses. I've talked with them.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I just know they're very passionate about it, and I've learned a lot from them. And there's been, you know, sparked a national discussion, so I think it'd be great for local leaders, especially those in the labor movement, to speak up on this.
Thank you for your thoughts on that.
Of course. Remsen Avenue's been torn up. My understanding was to do electrical work, and then it was supposed to be repaved, but it's been now well over a week, and it's not repaved, and I'm getting a little worried, it's getting cold.
Mr. Valente is going to unworry you.
It's, it has started, the paving initiated in North Brunswick and is heading northbound. I believe they got as far as, I could be wrong about this, somewhere Ellen Street maybe, and they're heading north, so they should be there within a couple days.
Thanks. Quick question on the wall. Do we have any lead service lines here in the city?
Lead service?
Yeah, lead.
I don't know if there's any left. Does Mr. Feedback as well?
We haven't identified any as lead this time. Any that we have found over the years, we've replaced.
I think it was mentioned before the George Street closure. My understanding is the closure expires November 5th. Is that correct? It'll
That
be
is
back
correct.
open again?
That is correct.
Okay, and what about the plans that were researched? Supposedly there were 3 options that were presented to the council. When is the public going to get any insight into what those plans are?
Plans for what?
For what to do long-term with George Street, right?
I believe that's still in the progress. We're working, I believe it was a think tank, as they like to say in the business, maybe going on. That's Mr. Jules, you have some.
It's a city market.
City market.
That report, and when they're ready to move forward, we'll be aware.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I certainly have, as a council member, I haven't seen it.
No, it wasn't presented to the council yet. It will be presented to the council once the city market makes a recommendation.
Thank you, Mr. Crowder. Yes, sir, ma'am. Yeah, next, yes.
Hi, April Nicholas, 143 Stamp Street in Brunswick. So I also wanted to follow up about the issue of the safe staffing legislation and supporting the nurses. It's something that's come up in the last several council meetings. The first time that the nurses came out in the course of the council meeting, we heard from Mr. Fleming, Mr. Cassidy, and Ms. Gaskins that they are supportive of our nurses and what they need. At the last council meeting, Council President Escobar also voiced her support for the legislation, and I specifically asked the council collectively, since 4 of the 7 members, which is a majority of the members, have expressed their support, would obviously, consider passing a resolution based on that support. She indicated that she would try and get an answer for that tonight. I understand she's not here currently, but do we know when we will have an answer on whether the council is going to pursue that ordinance, or that resolution?
Maybe the next meeting. I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't have an answer for you.
Do any of the other council members have any feelings to state on this?
I think everybody's in support of the nurses. We hopefully didn't get it settled. That's what we're all hoping for.
Right, but on the legislation, pursuing resolution on the legislation.
I need to know more about the legislation.
Okay. Well, I certainly hope that those conversations will happen quickly. Obviously, every day longer that we go without action on this makes the ongoing problem worse. So I think it deserves swift attention and decisions.
Absolutely.
once, maybe twice now, they actually have been open dozens of times. We did call the Parks office a couple times this week when we found them locked when they should have been opened. And today, the Parks office indicated, I don't know the name of the woman who was on the phone, I apologize, that starting today, November 1st, they would be closed for the season because there is no heating. And when asked when would they be reopened for the season, the general sentiment was it could be as late as the end of April, which is 6 months. And I'm just a little baffled by that. And I'm wondering, when the city invested the funds to build this restroom facility, was it the plan that the restroom facility would be closed for half of the year?
Mr. Jules.
Council Vice President, the bathrooms are not heated, they're winterized, and depending on when the season changes for an extended period of time, then they'll be activated again. So, April could be cold right through, and as soon as the stretch of warm weather and the pipes are no longer in danger of freezing and bursting, the bathrooms will be open again. There are porta-johns on facilities as well for those who are emergency.
Can you speak to whether it was the plan initially, when the funds were invested to build this facility, that they would continue to, ongoing in the future, be closed for up to 6 months?
I don't know if we keep any bathrooms in the parks open in the winter time, but I could be wrong, but I don't think we do. 'Cause I growing up, I remember being, Mr. Valente, you want to say
Yes,
something?
that is correct. Every bathroom does not have heat, is not intended to carry pipes through the winter and risk freezing and significant damage. Every single bathroom in every park closes
Trust me,
November 1st.
I tried to drink beer in Bugalo Park in the bathroom, and I couldn't get in when I was out there.
Can I also ask a related question? So if the issue is concerned with pipes bursting in the water, which there would be no water flowing through those pipes, does that mean that the water bottle refill stations and the water fountains also would be inaccessible for up to
Yes.
6 months out of the year?
The water fountains, they all close down in the winter time, because they're free, they always have. Always have. Sorry. We gotta live, if we lived in Nevada or weather climate, it can be kept open all the time.
Sure. I think that, certainly that's, frustrating, especially since for the period of time that the bathrooms were supposed to have open, they've been closed almost every day that I have been there, which is almost every day.
Thank you. Anybody else like to address the council this evening? Anybody? What's up, Mr. Pipkin, you want something else?
This has nothing to do with anything, but what's going on here?
We had water damage, we had roof leaks over the last couple of years, and now we've got the money, and we hired a contractor, and we're renovating the space.
I'm going on record by saying this. If I got any white chalk on my clothes, I'm sending you guys.
I'll tell you, man, I'm going on record saying this, the beard looks amazing. You look like a Gregory Peck.
Hey, good.
You saw that pepper in there? He's like an actor.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Anderson.
Yeah.